What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to another live stream. So Bitcoin has dropped below the $20,000 mark again as recession concerns weigh on all financial markets. And we're going to get into that a little bit in more detail. But really, one of the big reasons why we've seen such a downturn in the crypto markets is because crypto is following traditional markets so closely. And it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? On one hand, it's good because crypto is becoming a legitimate sector or a legitimate market alongside the stock market. However, historically speaking, it has not been tied to the stock market. And if we were in the earlier days, maybe we wouldn't feel this pain. But in order for this industry to grow, these are the growing pains we have to go through. A lot of goes and grows there. So yes, Bitcoin drops below 20K, and a lot of people think it will test that 17.5 level again, perhaps even drop lower. But they're all just educated guesses, right? Nobody has a crystal ball. We don't know. And we're going to know a lot more come tomorrow when the CPI data comes out. So we're going to talk about that, what it means, what we expect to see in relation to inflation. Of course, that is also a concern. And why people aren't spending their money in the crypto market. And let's face it, people aren't spending their money in any markets right now. I think anybody who has excess money right now, maybe they're taking vacations here and there strategically, but they're not spending a lot right now with all of the fear that is associated with the financial markets right now, right? And it's just point blank period. People know that things could get worse, especially if you flip on the news and you scroll through social media. But it's not all doom and gloom. It's not all bad, okay? And again, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. What comes after a recession, if we're already in one, okay. If one is coming in 2023, okay. I'm ready to buckle up, and I hope you are too, because a lot of people don't see the long-term vision here. Because what comes after a recession, which historically lasts about 11 months, historically speaking, is usually a decade of economic growth. So there's a reason why we go through these recessions and why we've went through many of them in the last 100 years. It's because it's a needed step in order to continue to grow the economy. And in this case, continue to grow the crypto market. It's a needed step. We're seeing people getting flushed out. We're seeing companies who were not prepared for this getting liquidated. We're seeing mergers and acquisitions. This is all part of the plan. This is all part of the process in getting crypto to be adopted by the masses. It's all part of a bigger plan. And if you can see that and look into 2025 and 2030 and beyond, then this is one huge opportunity for everybody involved, everybody on this stream, everybody invested in crypto. By the way, welcome. Good morning to everybody out there. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in. That really helps. But I just want to state that it's not all doom and gloom. Even though we talk about it every single day, this is what we need to talk about, because what happens tomorrow with CPI data impacts the markets. But in the short term, I am looking at opportunities all across the board. I added 2 altcoins last night to my already existing positions in those, slowly dollar cost averaging in those. I'm still buying Bitcoin and Ethereum every single day. I'm using the power of DCAing into those two because those are my highest conviction plays. And I'm not a rocket scientist here. It's not rocket science. It's, the 2 top heavyweights in the crypto market. You're investing in 60% of the market, essentially. Maybe a little less than that because Ethereum has lost some of its value more so than Bitcoin, or some of its dominance, rather, more so than Bitcoin. However, I don't think ETH is going anywhere anytime soon, right? So we're going to jump into it. Good morning, everybody. What's happening? What's going on? Good morning. Let me see what's going on in chat here. And let's see. Boca's in the house first. What's up, Boca? Let's do this. Coffee. All right. So the local coffee shop down the street just started giving out extra large coffees. Hell yeah. Because I would always have the large, and the large wasn't, this is like 2 cups. So I need my 2 cups. Now they got extra larges. I asked them, I don't know if they did it, maybe because of me. I go there almost every day. I love to give back to local businesses, but I don't know. Maybe I put a little bug in there and I'm like, do you guys have extra large coffees? And today she said, yes, we do. So maybe they were just waiting on the extra large cups to come in. I don't know. But got an extra large cup of coffee. We're ready to get at it. Also, big announcement coming up on Thursday. I'm going to have a special guest. I mentioned that I was really working on getting some prominent people here on the live streams. Well, let me show you who is coming on Thursday. Now, it won't be at our regularly scheduled time. It's going to be noon Eastern. So I'll do my regular live stream. We'll do our regular live stream at 10 o'clock. And then we will also have Douglas Boneparth on at noon on this Thursday. So he's on the CNBC Advisor Council, author of Millennial Money Fix, and founder of an NFT project, bringing NFTs to coffee. That was one of the big selling points and why I wanted to bring Douglas onto the show. Super pumped about it. He's got a great following, obviously, on Twitter. He's very deep in the weeds in cryptocurrency. Can't wait to sit down with Douglas and talk to him about crypto, what his opinions are on the overall markets. So very much looking forward to that coming up on Thursday. I'll have that link out there very early as well. So, but yeah, topic of the day, of course, we got to get into inflation. It is dominating the economic chatter. It's been dominating all of the chatter across all news networks for quite some time. And the CPI report is looming, which is happening tomorrow. So times like these, opportunities to take advantage of. Good morning, Be Cool. What's up, Be Cool? What's happening, man? Cat's in the building. What's up? What's up? Good morning, Zach and everyone. Do you have a link on where to buy a ledger? I don't have a link. I should get one for Ledger, like an affiliate link or something like that, Mr. Dino. But I can say this, the Ledger Nano X is a good one. Make sure you just buy it from their actual website and not like on Amazon or something like that. First sip. Good morning, Big Z. Hit that like button when y'all come in. Yes, exactly. What's up, EMAC? What's going on, man? Let's go Terrarium. What's up, Red Sox? Scott Hoffman in the house. What's up, man? Good morning. Good morning from California. Luis is in the house. All will be okay. It takes time and pain to move on, holding and consolidating. Yeah, man. I mean, that's it. Just be patient. We say it all the time. We're playing the long game here. We're playing the long game. Jeremy Barber says, Bone. Where is Bone's price at? I'm curious now. Let's see. Still at 45 cents. It's been holding that number pretty steadily. Want to be famous? Buy followers, primes, and viewers on mountainviewers.com. No, thank you, man. But hey, thanks for tuning in on Twitch. Appreciate you, man. See, the problem with buying followers, if you do that, you don't get the engagement. YouTube does not like that. So all the followers here are organic. I'll never pay for subscribers or anything like that. It's why. I mean, it's not real views. It's not feeding the algorithm. Let's rid of the week. Let's rid of the week. What's up, Roberto? Metadon, good morning, man. Smash that like button on the way in. Definitely. Yeah. Hammer that like button, guys. Let's get a bunch of people in here hanging out, talking crypto this morning. Kamal, good morning to you, man. Trevor Jarlin, good morning. CoinView Caps in the house. Big crash coming, unfortunately. I don't know if a big crash is coming, but I think a downturn is coming. I mean, how much worse could it get for crypto? I mean, it could go to 10K. Bitcoin could go to 10K, but I don't know. I think people will start buying the dip like crazy around 15K. We'll see, though. I mean, nobody truly knows, right? Good morning, Larry. Joining you for the first sip. Awesome, man. Love it. Just stay strong for the long haul, guys. Patience has never been more key, 100%. Rodney, good morning to you, man. Boca says nice. Oh, okay. I think that was in relation to the guest I have coming on. So good morning, everybody. I'll mention that a few different times. What about Luna Classic? Where is it right now? I love the community around it, guys. But right now, nothing is going to move exponentially upwards. But we have had a nice month for Luna Classic. It has bounced off the fives where it was consolidating for quite some time. Did a 3x and then has slowly come back down. Morning, Zach. First sip. Yep. 100%, brother. What's up, bro? Chris Jep, good morning. Daniel, what's up, man? They make a machine that will allow you to brew your own, right? I know, but I like to support small business. And you know what? Here's the thing with coffee. Isn't this true? Coffee always tastes better when somebody else makes it. Is that true? It's like food, too, when you go out to eat. It always tastes better when somebody else makes it. I don't know. I'm always rushing out, too, and I use K-cups, and I always want 2 cups. And I should just bring my thermal. I mean, I've got this, I've got these thermals and stuff. They're nice Yetis. This one's from I Trust Capital. Shout out to them. Link down below in the description. But I don't know. I never have time in the morning. I'm always rushing out. So I like giving back to local business too. This big cup of coffee is only $2.25 though. And they make really good coffee. Really good coffee. Nice way to start the morning early here in Cali. The shake up. Man, it is early. Thanks for getting up, man. And hanging out with us, bro. Welcome to the morning grind. Later tonight will be evening grind. Yeah, man. Always grinding. William, good morning from Las Vegas. Gummy, good morning. It's not a good morning without it being full of crypto and coffee. Love it. Good morning, Zach. What's up? Jermaine, what's happening, dude? Alvaro, good morning. Morning coffee and crypto with Zach. What's up, Gary? Like that smash button. Yeah. Hammer that smash button, guys. Helps us out. It's totally free to do. How many smashes do we have of that thing? I don't think we have 139 yet. But we got 139 people hanging out with us this morning. Hey, Zach, how about that 1999 quad burn tweet from Terrarium? I saw that. Yeah. Let me pull that up. Good stuff, man. There it is. You asked, we listen. Stay tuned for updates and join the Terra tribe today. Coming soon, 19.99 quadrillion token burn. That's huge. That's big. I'm going to respond to that, actually. Awesome. Big time. That is. I mean, that's a lot of tokens taken out of the supply. That's a lot of tokens. Good morning, Brett. How we doing, man? What are we looking at today? We're going to be looking at inflation a little bit, what we're expecting to see from CPI. We're going to take a look at, some of the large caps and small caps, take a look at some of the big news around the space. So a little bit of everything, just getting through some chats here this morning, seeing who's in the building. Good morning. What do you guys know about what's going on with Saitama? Last I heard, they were making a V2 and froze all tokens or something like that. So the perfect mix, they are slowly giving people their V2 tokens from last time I checked. I don't think everybody has them yet, though. Zach, I leave on the 25th for Thailand, India, Israel, and the Balkans for a year, backpacking with my guitar. William, that is epic, dude. I love that. Buying some time, buying some more Shiba on the ledger before I go. You have to keep up informing. William, that's awesome, man. Enjoy the trip. That sounds something like right up my alley, dude. I love that stuff. I did a backpacking trip last year on the Appalachian Trail. We did 36 miles in 4 days. It was awesome, man. We did the Triple Crown hike, is what it's called, in Virginia. So it was awesome. I just did some hiking down in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee as well. That was pretty epic. I was out in the Smokies, did a couple hikes out there. Love it, man. Discounts, bro. What's up, Paul? Time to accumulate. Yep. But Raul, I would say slowly right now. That's what I'm doing. Slowly accumulating right now. Bought WAGMI yesterday, WAGMI token today, and holding Genesis NFTs. So let's go WAGMI games. Yeah, WAGMI's down at a good price, a good entry point. WAGMI's fallen quite a bit, as have all new cryptos. WAGMI's down now to a $5.39 million market cap. You could see it's really struggled here. But if you're, looking at it the long term and you like what WAGMI's building, it's an opportunity. I agree with you, Red Sox. BTC ETH, and I too have 10 Genesis NFTs, by the way. So I'm holding those puppies, and I've got Wagby. BTC 10K, ETH 500, SHIB all the way to the 5 zeros and a 5. Okay, I like it. Good predictions. Morning, Muzz. What's happening? 100% true. Talking about the coffee. Good morning from Corpus Christi. What's up, Luis? Tony. Morning, Zach, from the great state of Texas. What's up, Tony? I mean, replace non-selfing drive on the road 100%. Wait, what? Oh, when self-driving cars 100%. Oh, yeah. We're a ways away, Muzz. I have my V2 Saitama, so Paul's got it. That's awesome. A few buddies of mine went on a backpacking trip across Iraq a few years back. Oh, I see what you did there. Okay, not 100%, but more prevalent. Like comment. Jay Crypto, good morning. Surfer, good afternoon, dude. What's happening? What is happening? BTFA is one of my only assets here that's in the green a little bit. That was a really awesome space yesterday with Everrise and BTFA. If you guys missed it, man, that was awesome. So BTFA and Bandex are now listed on Everswap, one of the 9D apps that Everrise has. Two great projects, two great communities. Jay Crypto, good morning. So with Shiba Inu consolidating, do you feel that it has enough to scale past the bear market pool? Yes. I mean, I do think it will last. How low will it go? I don't know, but it's too big, in my opinion, to fail now. And the biggest catalysts are still out there for SHIB, right? So yes, I do think it'll survive any downturn in the market. HB, have you lost all faith in Saitama? I'm no longer invested in Saitama. The dev team have just, I think failed investors too many times. And I wish the best for anybody involved in that project still. And I know a lot of people need it to do well because they've put a lot of money into it. But use this as a learning lesson. I say this all the time, diversify your portfolio. There are a lot of people out there who did not take profits on Saitama and are hurting because of it. Sorry, Zach. Daniel and I were having a convo on autonomous vehicles in chat. Okay. Good morning, Zach. What's your take on Uniswap coin? You think it's a good buy? Yeah, I mean, Uniswap is solid. I think it's ranked like in the top 25 still. Let me see. Yeah, it's ranked number 19, top 20. Yeah, Uniswap can certainly run. I mean, when the market comes back. But I don't think Uniswap will be the protocol of the future, right? I think it's a good fix. I think it's a good protocol right now. But when things really start to get crazy with crypto adoption, I don't know if it has room enough, the room enough to scale. I don't know if it has the room to scale. But right now, I mean, I don't think it's going anywhere anytime soon. I mean, at the all-time high, you're looking at $42. I mean, you're looking at like an 8x, back to all-time highs. I do think there are better opportunities out there, Gab, than Uniswap. Good evening, Samir. What's happening? You guys are talking about autonomous vehicles. Good morning. Hope you had a great Tuesday. Cheers from Northeast Ohio. What's up, Francesco? Decrypto's coming in from Mexico. What's up? What will a 20 quad burn for Terra do to the price? I'm not that good at math, delete zeros. I'm going to be honest with you. But it will reduce the supply, and it'll be a positive thing. But I don't think it'll be something that you feel right away. It'll be something you feel over time. Anytime tokens are burned in any project, you're not going to feel it like the next day, unless the token supply is really low and they burn a huge percentage of the tokens. The best to you all. Fund your center. Be happy. Hold. Have a great day. Nice long time. Appreciate you, man. I watch Westworld. I'm not getting in your taxes, Daniel. I'm weary of AI. The bottom has been and gone, yet everyone is still sitting on their hands. Maybe, Ash. I mean, what makes you think this? Are you looking at something no one else is? What makes you think we've hit bottom? I tend to think that nobody really knows. And everybody can make educated guesses. I don't think anybody really knows if we've hit bottom. If somebody truly had a crystal ball, they would be making billions of dollars because everybody would be listening to that one person, right? I don't think anybody really knows. Certainly, there are ways to look at on-chain metrics, technical analysis, macroeconomic factors, and make predictions, certainly. But nobody really knows. Why y'all keep bringing this shit up? Miss Vincent, what's up? Gary Z, what's up? What's up? Need to check out Watcher Guru just put out about ADA Pay. Interesting. I will check that out. Actually, let's go see that right now. Watcher Guru ADA Pay. Oh, was it a tweet? Oh, guys, for the record, if you guys are just popping in, Douglas right here, president of Bonafide Wealth. He's on the CNBC Advisory Council, author of Millennial Money Fix. He has over 200,000 followers on Twitter. He is coming onto the channel on Thursday at noon Eastern. We're going to be live with Douglas Boneparth. So really looking forward to this, getting his thoughts on where crypto is. I'm doing a lot of that right now, reaching out to, in my opinion, prominent figures that have great opinions and perspectives that we can all learn from. All of us together can glean from. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have that posted up. And really looking forward to bringing Douglas on the channel. So looking forward to that one. All right. So Watcher Guru has what out now on ADA Pay? Let me see here. Then we're going to get into what this inflation data could look like tomorrow with the CPI data coming out. So just in, Cardano now to be accepted for payment at over 7 million businesses through the new ADA Pay plugin. ADA's making major moves. I've got a Cardano video coming out later today. I don't want to spoil it, but they are building. You want to talk about building in a bear market? ADA is one of the cryptocurrencies I bought last night, by the way. One of the altcoins I added to. I added to that in Gala. Okay, that video just came out before here. But, Gala broke the 5-cent mark. I was all over that. It's down here to 4 cents now. Yeah, give me all the Gala at 4 cents. Love it. I think that's a huge opportunity. I mean, look where Gala has been in the past, just to get back to all-time highs. I mean, you're looking at what? I'm not very good at math. What is that? What's 70? What's the all-time high here? I should just use a calculator, right? Let's see. Oh, all-time high was 83 cents. So how many times does 4 go into 83? 83 divided by 4. That's a 21x, guys. That's a 21x for Gala to get back to its all-time high. And that's what I'm talking about, right? Somebody mentioned Uniswap earlier, and Uniswap's a good project, right? But it's a higher market cap. So it can only 8x to get back to all-time highs, whereas Gala can 21x just to get back to all-time highs. 21x. Right? So I'm really liking that. If you're looking for longer-term swap projects, I guess take a look at Wing Riders, WRT on CMC and Woo Trade. Okay. Appreciate that, Daniel. The best meta coin to invest in. I think the top 3 right now are all solid. I mean, there's going to be some big winners, but trying to pick ones way down in here, it's going to be tough, man. It's going to be tough. Decentraland and Sandbox and ApeCoin, I think, are your best bets. Although, you know what? I came across an article. Let me see here. They listed a couple other ones. Hold on one sec. Here we go. This article came out 3 days ago. I just read this morning too. And here you go. Sandbox, Decentraland, number 1 and 2. Engine is another one, guys. Engine, I look at it as kind of like the ETF of the space. But here you go. Here's 2 more to look into. Render Network. I don't know anything about this one, or the Radio Kaka. Raka DAO. There you go. So there's a couple other ones to take a look at. I just saw this article come across a few days ago. Is Bitcoin going down to 10K? I don't know. We'll see. Many people are saying 16. Some people think 10. We'll find out. What's a good play now? A good play now? Well, there are a lot of good plays. It depends on where you're looking. I mean, I've been mentioning for a while, I'm still buying Bitcoin and Ethereum every single day, dollar cost averaging into those two. And, it's really no secret. I mean, it doesn't take rocket science, to figure it out. I mean, they make up most of the market, and well over 50% of the overall market is Bitcoin and Ethereum. Oh, we got a special guest joining us here. Just realized it. What's up, man?
Hey, man.
What's going on? Talking all things crypto here.
All things crypto. All right. Well, I got a little bit of a situation in the personal life. I'm waiting on DoorDash, and I have these 2 dogs, so I'll have to mute myself in a minute while they lose their shit in a little bit. So in about 10 minutes.
What'd you order?
Chick-fil-A.
Oh, nice. Breakfast or breakfast?
It's for the kid, right? He loves the little chicken minis. So anyway, it's a whole thing.
Nice. Chick-fil-A, man. Talk about a good business model. Whew, that's inflation proof right there.
I tell you what, they crush it everywhere, don't they? Yeah. Look at Foxy giving me crap in the comments. Special guess, like, man, she's a tough audience, man. What's up, Daniel? Yeah. So I wanted to jump on with you for a while here, but yeah, you've been talking about inflation data and all that kind of stuff, I'm assuming. Yeah.
I was just about to jump into it. We were kind of just taking a bunch of questions, but yeah, you sent me an article this morning. Actually, I'll pull it up right here. And we were actually just talking about, has Bitcoin hit bottom? How low are we going? What are your thoughts on it all, man? I mean, tomorrow's a big day with CPI data too, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've been looking at the CPI data reports for a while, and there's another one I can drop it to you. But basically, it's Deutsche Bank saying it might hit 9% instead of 8.8, which that would be not good. But also the fact that it's also kind of effectively I saw a report this morning that talked about how these reports are actually lagging, meaning like we may have already be kind of, you know what I mean? Like we're already kind of through the inflation, if you will, but these are lagging indicators, the reports themselves. And so kind of within that, has it been built into the market? I don't think so, because I think the stock market, and I think crypto to a point, right, I think we'll have a knee-jerk reaction. If it comes out, we all know it's going to be high. I think it's not going to go down. So it's going to be 8.8 or above year over year. And I think the stock market is going to not have a great day. And I think it's going to impact crypto. We could see, a $100 billion market cap. Drop 100 billion out of crypto tomorrow, possibly. I mean, yeah, we're all guessing, right? But I mean, I think it could be knee jerk is kind of what I'm thinking,
Yeah, this one here says forecast topping out at 8.6%. So chances are it could be higher. But to your point there, like, yeah, it's the July report, but don't they take that data really from like June?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Right. And we adjust, the government only has a few levers they can pull. Right. And one of them obviously is the Fed Reserve, the Fed, the base interest rate, but they are lagging. So we had the interest rate hike in June. And then the Fed is meeting again the 26th through the 28th of July. We all know that's coming. So that is approximately 16 days, or no, don't do math in public, 14 days. There you go. And we're expecting at least a 50 basis point raise there, maybe even 75 basis point. But that's showing 8.6. 8.6 is a reduction, which I don't think anybody's expecting. I mean, Deutsche Bank is calling for maybe even 9, and everybody's guessing until we see the report.
The one good sign is you're in Texas. I'm wondering if you saw this too. Gas prices are slowly coming down. Oh, sounds like DoorDash.
Yeah. So hold on.
All right. So I was going to say, the one positive, I think, guys, we are seeing commodity prices slowly come down, at least here in the short term. In the last 3 to 4 weeks or so, gas prices have come down. I mentioned I was in Georgia not too long ago. Gas prices were under $4. I was like, oh my gosh, look at this. It's amazing that's like, a big deal, but that's where we are in our world. When everything, not too long before that, gas prices were, well over $5 in a lot of places in the United States. So we'll see. I mean, have the rate hikes already started to adjust things for the better? Are we still in for more pain? Are we out of the woods as it relates to inflation? But then the next thing that most people are really concerned about and really fearful about is the R word, recession, right? And especially when people say that a recession maybe isn't going to hit us until 2023. And I think that has a lot of people fearful. This article that Austin sent me this morning kind of gets at that and why crypto is down for a couple reasons. I read the article before I popped on, Austin. I thought it was interesting. They said one of the reasons is it's following traditional markets, which I think is a double-edged sword. It could be good, but I see why it could be bad too. The other reason is it's just fear, and people are afraid of a recession that we may or may not already be in, and it may be getting worse, and it could be coming in 2023. We really don't know. I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, technically a recession, right, is 2 consecutive quarters with decreasing GDP.
Correct.
We already have one, and it looks like we're on the brink of a second one.
Right.
Will they actually then come out and say, hey, guys, we're in a recession? I don't know.
I think, honestly, how I feel about are we officially in a recession or not is irrelevant. Not how I feel, but what I really mean by that is that it doesn't matter if we're officially in a recession, in my opinion. And here's why I'm saying that. It's inflation at the end of the day, and whether we're in a recession or not equals one thing. Every darn thing in your life costs more money, period. And so the average person, and not just in the United States, right? I mean, obviously inflation is a global phenomenon. And I've looked at reports talking about, like country by country, and inflation is up everywhere. But what it really comes down to is to your point, Zach, is that when you go to the grocery store and it costs more money, when you go to the gas tank to fill up your gas tank, it costs more money. Ultimately, that equals fear, uncertainty, doubt. And really what it equals is I am going to hold on to my money, and I am not going to do a damn thing because it's costing me more. I have less discretionary income to even invest if I wanted to. And oh, by the way, I'm not going to have my money in the stock market, crypto, anything. I'm simply going to hold or pull it out. Right.
Right. So there's always this debate. And I want to get to Paul's super chat here too, because we're kind of hitting on it, but Paul, we'll address that. Thank you so much for the super chat, man. Appreciate that. Are you one that holds more cash during these times, but then other people would say, no. I mean, you just got a dollar cost average, get it all on the market now. How do you play that game versus how much cash do you have on hand? Yeah. I think most people would say they probably want to have more cash on hand this year than they did last year. Last year was a buyer's market, right?
Yeah. I think it depends on who you are and your thresholds and your risk averse and all those kind of things. The way that my wife and I do it is that we have real estate, obviously, and we will potentially look at buying in these down markets if you have the cash.
Do you have commercial or do you have?
No, it's residential. No,
residential.
Yeah. But I don't know anything about commercial, real estate. I have some friends that do, and talking.
We've actually talked about this.
Yeah, talking with them about maybe doing some commercial real estate investing, but I'm certainly not going to do that alone. I want to do that with somebody who knows what the hell they're doing. Anyway, back to your question. I mean, because I own bonds, stocks, funds, and in those investments, I have a company that manages that for me, but they're constantly tweaking that ratio, right? And so you don't pull out of those investments while you're in these times, because some of the like bond investments, they're long-term investments, as an example, right?
You couldn't get out of those investments even if you wanted to, right?
Yeah, basically, right? And so in that ratio, I think you're always looking for the opportunities. This is when you buy. I mean, I guess that's really what it comes down to is that, my money manager has come to me and said, hey, look, do you want to put more in, and do you want to, adjust the ratios and maybe go buy, and I'm, Apple and Tesla, I'm using those at random. I'm not saying those, but go buy devalued stocks. And in that scenario, that's the stock side of it. Okay. Because again, diversification, right? I think that you need to be outside of that. But I also believe in stable, right? I mean, I pulled out of Bitcoin and Ethereum, a lot of it, and took some minor losses because I believe there was that much more downside risk, and moved into stable to wait for opportunities that I believe are coming,
Mhm.
and so to answer your question earlier about, do I think this is the bottom? No, I think we all readily agree that we've got maybe a bleed down to maybe the $14,000 range for Bitcoin. And you could DCA in down to that. I think if you're trying to time it to hit perfectly at 14 or 12 or whatever that number is, and that's harder to do, but you can DCA in. If you believe in long-term viability of crypto, I mean, hell, buying it at 20 is still a great value, you know?
That's a great point. Yeah, and I'm dollar cost averaging every day still into Bitcoin, Ethereum, just because I don't want to try to time it, right? And I know it'll probably go lower, and that's okay. I'll just buy a little bit every day, and it'll all work out in the end. Especially for those long term investments, I feel like, right? It's better to not try to time it. I think personally. I mean, just because I'm planning on holding Bitcoin for a long time, so it's like why should I try to be perfect with it and drive myself crazy and get
Mhm.
it at the lowest point? I mean, it should be a good return on investment if I just dollar cost average. And I'm doing the same thing with the stock market. I don't have the years in that you do, obviously, and I'm just now diversifying, into the stock market. And I actually told my guy who's running my SEP IRA and also my individual brokerage account that, hey, let's here's some money to put in it, and you could put it in the Charles Schwab account, but then dollar cost average it over time rather than put it all in right now.
Right.
Which that would be okay too. I mean, I'm still playing the long game on that, but I'm like, let's just slowly inject this into the market from now until the end of the year, and just
Yeah. Well,
yeah,
I mean, to your point, I mean, and if you look at just what the Fed has said they're going to do, right? And for the remainder of the year, we have more interest rate hikes coming. Every single one of those is a negative, and I'm talking about negative, the perception of how it's going to impact the stock market, impact crypto.
mm,
Every single one of those is a somewhat of a mild or medium cataclysmic event, if you will, for a catalyst in those respective markets. Look at how, go back and look at every single Fed decision and look at the volatility around that in just this year in stocks and crypto. They have been extremely volatile times leading up to that event, and then when that event happened. And it's just, and we've got one coming in beginning in 12 days. And then we've got another one. I mean, this is the most aggressive Fed rate hike that, period, that we see. I mean, they're doing it to curb inflation and all those kind of things, but you get my point, right? And so there's so much, I guess I'm saying that in the context of your point to your, manager is like, it's a valid one. Put it in over time, because I think there's still more downside risk,
yeah, I agree. And I think, Paul, I think we answered your questions, man. Hopefully you got those answered. He's asking if we think it's going to drop further. I think we both agree that most likely it will.
Mhm.
We don't have a crystal ball, but I mean, based on
Yeah, but
macroeconomic
here's the
factors, yeah.
I think Zach, to your point, I mean, here's the good news. The silver lining, in my opinion, for crypto is that we're basically at the bottom. I mean, yes, Bitcoin has some more downside risk. Yes, Ethereum could go from 1,100 or 10,000, 1,090, whatever it is, to 5,600. I mean, that's a 50% drop, but we are really pretty darn close to the bottom. And I think that, if you're looking, or I kind of view that as a silver lining. It's
Yeah.
not dramatically more. I mean, do we think that Bitcoin's going to go to zero? Hell no. Do we think Bitcoin's probably going to go below 10? For it to go below 10, that would have to be some really, again, bad, 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 So anyway, I
Yeah.
just wanted to reiterate that.
That's a good point. I mean, this is a good question here, a good comment. This is what they want retail investors to think. Crypto is going nowhere and it will explode. The same FUD makers, the same bears got portfolios too. Don't be fooled. So
Sure.
essentially saying market manipulation, they want to get, and they meaning the big dogs, the institutions, they want to get in at a cheaper price. They
Right.
want to wash all of us out. And we shouldn't be fooled in that regard.
I agree. I firmly agree. Crypto is now a smaller market capitalization scenario. It's easier to move. It's easier to push it around than if it was $2 trillion, right? And what I always struggle with is this so contradictory information you see on mainstream media. One
Oh
article
yeah.
says Bitcoin is going to go to 30,000 in the next 10 minutes, and the other article says it's never going to happen ever until the end of time.
Yeah.
And it's frustrating because and you and I are in this every single day, and for the average person out there, they're like, it's just creates so much fear.
Yeah, 100%. So tomorrow's a big day with CPI data coming out. There will be, it says here, there will be other important reports this week on retail sales as well, which serve as a proxy for the overall consumer spending, and producer price inflation, often an indicator of what the consumer will face in the coming weeks. Experts are also expecting another 75 basis point hike after a similar increase in June.
Mhm.
Do you think they can go higher than that? I've actually
They
read that in a
won't.
few places.
Yeah, they won't go higher than. I mean, again, the data report, the CPI report tomorrow is going to be telling. If it's 9%, if it's gone up dramatically, if it hits like that 8.8 number, that's a move up. It is a an increase, but I think that may be what people are expecting. But if it's north of that, I think best case scenario, it's a 50 basis points raise at the end of July, and more likely 75 basis points. I think, but it's all dependent upon the CPI report, and that's what, at least at a high level, right?
100%. Appreciate everybody tuning in here this morning. Make sure you hit that like button on your way in, or if you've been hanging out for a little bit and you forgot to do so, really helps us out. Consider subscribing too. So good, Paul. I'm glad we answered that for you, man. At the end of the day, Tatted Grizzly, always in the house too. Appreciate you. If you're in for the long haul, DCA and hold, the day-to-day price action shouldn't matter. View this as an opportunity to better our wealth. This is where millionaires are made. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't said it
Buy
better myself.
low, buy low, which
But
is the hardest damn thing to buy, right? It's the hardest thing. It's
that's
human.
psychological warfare, man.
It's
It's
psychologically the hardest thing to do is to push
yeah,
the buy button when you're like, oh my god, I'm gonna buy Bitcoin at 14,000. It's gonna go lower, and whatever, right?
right,
It's
right.
just it's hard. But this is how, I'm not necessarily a huge fan of him, but this is how Warren Buffett has built a massive empire. He buys these assets, these companies, in depreciated times.
He sits on a lot of cash.
Yes, he does.
He
Yeah.
sits on a lot of cash, and I think that allows him to wait and take the big, I wouldn't even call it a risk, but a lot of people don't. They're not prepared for it because they don't have the cash in hand. They
Correct.
don't have it on the sidelines. They're not ready to go. And
Yeah.
obviously, none of us are Warren Buffett to have that amount of cash, but it's all relative, right? Like depending on what you have across the board, keep some dry powder for times like this, because if we do see, some of those big collapses, man, you can go to the well. 2Bits in the house.
Hey, buddy.
Afternoon, gentlemen. All you have to do is look at what the top Bitcoin wallets are doing. None are selling; they're all accumulating. Great point, 2Bit. And here's the other thing too. I was reading up on this. There are more Bitcoin addresses now than ever, and that's all happened in 2022. So that tells me that people are looking at Bitcoin as an opportunity again, whereas many of those same people, in my opinion, were probably looking at it in 2021 thinking, I missed it. I
Yeah.
missed what's the next one, right? But now people are seeing this dip and saying, well, maybe I do have another opportunity to get in at a cheap price, right?
I mean, yeah, there again, I think silver lining, we're close to the bottom, right? I think that and if you have a long term two bits question to 2Bits comment, as well as to others. I mean, if you have, what I always come back to is this is the question I ask myself, and I've talked about in videos. I know you've talked about it as well. Ask yourself this one question: do you believe that the crypto market is going to be, is the market capitalization, is that the crypto market capitalization is ultimately going to go back up and get bigger, 2 trillion, 3 trillion, 4 trillion, 5 trillion? Yes or no? And if the
Yeah.
answer is yes, this is a great time to buy. Not investing advice. Period. Drop the mic, walk off the stage. You can buy anything in the top 20 today if you believe that the market is going to grow and you have a buy and hodl, take profits along the way, be responsive, all those kind of things. You're good to go. I mean, to me, that's as simple as it gets. If you want a black and white yes or no question or answer, that's it.
100%. Yeah. Speaking of that global crypto market cap, we're just under 900 billion. And to your point, I mean, we were at a $3 trillion market cap in the bull run last year, a little bit over that at times too. So
Everything is vastly discounted right now. Cardano, Polkadot, Solana, Ethereum, insert coin token name here.
100%.
I mean, that's how I see it.
Something else I think is interesting too. I mean, we look at this dominance. ETH was really eating into Bitcoin's dominance for a while. Bitcoin has kind of reclaimed that. I think it goes to show you just how dominant Bitcoin is, both from a number standpoint and just from a overall macro standpoint. ETH, when it was running and when the whole market was running, was slowly eating away at Bitcoin. There was a lot of talk about Ethereum flipping Bitcoin in the near future. And I think it still could over time. And I even created videos about that. But then it's times like this in a bear market where you just see how much bigger Bitcoin is than anything else. I mean, it's just a beast. And, it makes up 43% of the overall market right now still. But there were times during the bear market where it was sub 40%. 38%, 37%, and ETH's number was higher. But, together, these are the two I'm dollar cost averaging in every single day. And then I'm looking for opportunities for the other ones, like the Cardanos. I just bought Gala less than 5 cents. I started looking at Gala and right now, under 5 cents, right? In order for it to get back to all-time highs, just if it got back to all-time highs, you're looking at a 21x.
Yeah.
That is a top 100 crypto that could 20 plus X just getting back to all-time highs. You're not going to find that in a lot of these other cryptos.
No.
So strategically getting into plays like this, what are some of those for you? Some of those altcoins out there that aren't Bitcoin and Ethereum that are in the top 100 that you kind of have high conviction in?
I think it's the usual suspects for me. I like the other blockchains, right? The Solanas, the Polkadots, those are usually the main ones I go to. XRP, I think is a really interesting long-term. Obviously we've both talked a lot about that one. I think you're just parking cash in XRP, and to buy XRP at 31 cents is a good deal in my opinion. Beyond that, I moved mostly into stable, again, waiting to kind of see how this all plays out. Right. That's how I am. And I'm picking very specific ones, like some of the ones that I mentioned, and putting some money into them, and kind of, again, DCAing in there from that standpoint. I know you've always loved Gala. I don't own any Gala. Probably should go, I should take your advice and go buy some Gala as an example. I know Polygon's one that you did a video on the other day. That was interesting. I didn't really know the whole smart contract scenario that, where you had talked about that's stands to benefit from Luna's, crash, if you will. So that was very interesting. I wasn't aware of that little fact, if you will.
That was, that was news to me too before I read it. And then as soon as I read it, I'm like, this is a video, because this is powerful, because, Terra Luna had the most total value locked, or TVL, of all smart contract platforms outside of Ethereum. And we're talking about a top 10 crypto. Terra was huge, and there were a lot of projects running on it. Well, when it collapsed, all these projects didn't just disappear. They have to go somewhere.
Yeah.
And nearly 50 of those projects went over to Polygon. And, it's probably partly some of the reason why you're seeing, even, in the last 3 months, Polygon has held up pretty well. And even, year to date, it's held up pretty well in terms of, where the overall market is. It's top 20 crypto. So yeah, I definitely like Polygon, for sure, but I'm a big Crow guy too. I think you are too, right?
I own Crow. I like to hold Crow. I think, again, it's pervasive, right? It's one of those deals where, everything is vast. Again, how I think about it, Zach, everything's vastly discounted. So you can go buy damn near anything you want. And if you have this long-term view and you're cool buying now, which you should be, not investing advice, these are good. These are when you buy, that's always how I've felt about it. And this is hard to do, but that's when you should be, All
right. Here's one from Vito. Where do you think SHIB can go with all its utility, and how Doge got to where it is without any utility? So I guess that's kind of a larger conversation about SHIB and Doge, the top two community tokens in the top 15. Do you think I'll turn this into a question for Vito. Do you think they stay in the top 15? And which one of the two has more of a long-term future? What do you think?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
Shibinu, I've never heard of it. What is that?
Right.
I think SHIB. I think the winner is SHIB. I'm not anti Dogecoin by any means. I think Dogecoin, being the granddaddy, being out for years and years and years, I think has That's why it has the huge market capitalization. Everybody is holding it, waiting for it to do something, period. I think the a clears in the house. Cool. I think that's it for Doge. I mean, I am always surprised about Dogecoin, why it's still as high of a market capitalization scenario. And I think ultimately it's just got a ton of holders that are simply holding. Like me, I own Dogecoin that I just am holding because, like, well, is it going to come back? Maybe, maybe not. It's not, I don't hold a ton, but no ecosystem build out for Doge, all those kind of things. I think SHIB is an active project. And I think when we get back into a bull run, obviously I fully expect SHIB to surpass Dogecoin on all fronts. You know, ecosystem, obviously it already is, in my opinion, past Dogecoin. I mean, just with having a swap and, everything that it has have, but what it's got coming, it's active. There's no active development in Doge.
I agree. They're starting to try to figure some things out with, I think it's called the Doge chain. I think they want to create their own blockchain or something like that. And they have Elon, but I mean, other than that, it's like, okay, we'll see. But yeah, I agree with you. I think SHIB is certainly doing more. Clear Crypto says diversification is key. 100%.
Absolutely.
100%. I think so many people
inside and outside of crypto, but yes,
that's exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, go ahead. Good.
No, that's it. That's all I got.
No, I mean, that's exactly, yeah. It's not just in crypto. And I was going to say too, so many people got hurt by putting all their eggs in one basket. Mm-hmm. And you have to learn from it, man. You have to. And a lot of people don't want to take that onus on themselves and just say, hey, I messed up. They want to point the finger. And this is why diversifying is so important, because if one asset doesn't perform well, and let's face it, fails. I mean, look at Luna. I mean, that is a top 10 crypto that a lot of people were heavily invested in. A lot of people were only invested in it. I mean, it just goes to show you that you have to diversify. In terms of diversifying, we get this question a lot, and this might be something we can put up on the Clear Cryptos channel. By the way, the Clear Cryptos YouTube channel will be having some content out there. Austin and I recorded some videos for it yesterday. We're getting those things edited. Those will be up on the Clear Cryptos YouTube channel, which will be a 24/7 hour news network very, very soon. This might be something we could do. I've heard this come up a lot. Like, take a pie chart. What is a good diversification strategy, right? Like, if you look at, just say, okay, is it 10% in Bitcoin? Is it 8% in Ethereum? Just and kind of divvy it up. I think people want to see that picture. Maybe we can eventually create something like that, and maybe even include stocks and real estate, like we were talking about there a little,
right.
A little earlier.
So, I mean, without a pie chart, I think the easiest way how I think about it is out of 100% for a crypto diversification strategy, I think that it's 60% is in Bitcoin and Ethereum. And I think the other, say 10 to 20%, depending upon, how old you are, your risk averseness or the lack thereof. The other 10 to 20% is kind of in other top 20, 25 cryptos, like the Solanas and the Polkadots of the world. And then the other 10 to 20%, depending on how you do those ratios, you can either put it in, speculative stuff, place some long bets on like the new Shiba Inus of the world, or Shiba Inu as an example. I think I would put Shiba Inu as an example, even though yes, it's a community token, in that top 20 or 30%. I think you could put some, if you want to be investing in community. There's people who don't like community tokens as an example, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it depends on what kind of ratio you want. And even inside of that, and outside of in that 40%, outside of the 60% you put in Bitcoin, Ethereum, I see people that will say, okay, I want to invest in the NFT space, not necessarily owning NFTs, but I want to invest in the people, in technologies behind NFTs, or I want to invest in metaverse and things of that nature. So I think that's really how I look at it. It's like, the bulk is in the blue chips as far as crypto goes. And the rest kind of falls out from there. What's your opinion?
I agree. And I think John Roddy brings up an interesting point here. When institutional money enters the market, institutional money won't go into the projects like SHIB and Doge. Maybe not as much, but whether it's institutional money or not, there is a lot of big money in SHIB. We know that. It's a fact.
Correct.
The top 100 Ethereum whales have SHIB more than any other token. And
more than even stable.
Exactly. More than anything else in the top 100. I mean, so I don't know. I think it's weird, right? Because some people still have this picture of like SHIB as like a joke. But is it? I mean, it's a top 15 crypto, huge market cap, huge Ethereum whale money in it, none bigger. So, I mean, I think it's kind of like somewhere in between. I think it's evolving. And if the utilities can be built out, I think SHIB can go from being a quote unquote community token to a blue chip. And maybe it's already there. I don't know. But I take your point, John, for sure. I mean, you have the ones like Austin mentioned, like Solana, right? A lot of venture capitalists are behind that. It's more centralized, 100%. Cardano.
I have to move. I have somebody coming into my house. So my dogs are about to lose their crap. So, hey, here's a tour of Austin's house. Okay, walking out. There's the pool.
Woohoo! Here, wait, hold on. Here we go. Nice.
That's the pool area. So now I'm walking out here.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah. Okay.
How hot is it in Texas right now?
Oh, well, it's nice right now because it's only like 98, right? That's nice for us down here. So
10 o'clock in the morning.
It'll get to 104 today, dude. So yeah, it's crazy.
It's been hot. I saw the Bitcoin mining. They halted Bitcoin mining in Texas because of
because of the grid. You know, they don't want the grid, the management of the grid. So
yeah.
So I just had to move out here because it was about to get noisy in there. So,
but yeah, I thought John brought up a good point. I mean, I don't know, John, honestly. I mean, you're right. I mean, institutional money is going to come into Bitcoin first. No doubt.
Absolutely.
100%. They're going to come into Bitcoin first, and they're going to come into Ethereum. But what else? I mean,
again, I think the polygons of the world, right? I mean, they'll go into that kind of stuff.
Solana,
the dots, insert name here.
Maybe even VeChain. I still like VeChain quite a bit too.
Yeah.
VeChain's another one, dude. Okay. So the all-time high on VeChain is what? 27 cents, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 27 cents. And it's sitting at 2 cents right now. So, I mean, you're looking at a 14x. Number 32 ranked crypto. You're looking at a 14x just to get back to all-time highs. And VeChain, you talk about like real-world utility. It's helping supply chain management, which we saw needs it, especially when we just had this worldwide pandemic. And we're still dealing with supply chain issues. And what if we can revolutionize a lot of different sectors by using blockchain technology to help out in supply chain management? It's exactly what VeChain does. So I really like VeChain as well. And especially down here at 2 cents. I mean, that's just, there's so many opportunities right now, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's just you can throw a dart and pretty much, I mean, I know people that think that VeChain is quote boring and all those kind of things, but to your point, I think Zach, that what you just said is probably one of the most profound things I've heard you say in a while. Like as an example, you were talking about the other one, but now you're talking about like VeChain, 27 cents all-time high down to 2 cents. If you believe in the long-term viability, go buy some freaking VeChain, not investing advice, and then hold that stuff because it is already proven and shown that it will be at these higher numbers. Even if it only goes to 10 cents, you've, 5 extra money there.
Exactly. If it gets half if it gets half back to where it was, I mean, think about that. You're a 5x and you're talking about a blue chip. It's not like, most of the time you got to go really digging into the small cap stuff to get these kind of X's, right? But yeah, man, I mean, that's where we're at right now.
What I love about crypto, crypto to me actually is ironically easier than stock. It's than the stock market. The stock market, you got P&E ratios, you got all these things and all this kind of stuff. But crypto is just everything follows Bitcoin and Ethereum because everything is so freaking depressed right now because of the, of everything we've been talking about. I mean, you literally cannot make a wrong choice if you are buying good assets like VeChain, Polygon, again, insert token name here and hold.
Yep. I agree. Cardano, here's another one. Cardano brings this one up. Yeah. I mean, Cardano, he says, it's taken a long time to get rolling. It is. I mean, but that's by design. They have, in Hoskinson's words, a peer-reviewed approach, which essentially means they have many advisors look at things before they roll them out. That's why it's taken them so long to get smart contracts. It takes them so long when they do upgrades. But look beyond the price of Cardano. I did a video today, and check it out, because it's talking about, smart contracts and how they've been building and what they're doing. Have you ever seen this website, Austin? I'm going to show you this too, and everybody out there. So CardanoCube.io. And this is why I say look beyond the price. If you're playing the long game here with projects, you got to look beyond the charts. Okay. So check this out. And shout out to Daniel, because I wouldn't know about this without Daniel. But these are all things running on Cardano.
Yep.
These are all the dexes. Here, let me get rid of Vladimir's thing there. These are the dexes. Look at this. These are the wallets.
Yep.
This is what they're doing in DeFi. These are the marketplaces. This is their infrastructure. Launch pads. Metaverse. Gaming. Social. Lending and borrowing. Tools and explorers. I mean, this is insane. Stable coins, identity, payment, data, gambling, community, and DAO. Wait for it. Meme coins. I mean, that's insane, right? I mean, so this is why you have to, Cardano's price moves very slow. Well, if you're looking for a short fix, then you're not going to like Cardano. And I got to shout out Daniel here. I've come around to listening to him, especially on Cardano and on a lot of things too. But this is a long-term play, the Cardanos of the world, the Solanas, the Crows. So that's all I was going with that. Yeah.
Shout out to Daniel. He has some, like you said, has some good stuff. Somebody was asking, where am I at in Texas? I'm in Dallas, the Dallas area. So yeah, North Texas.
Alan Humphrey said Austin is a millionaire. Yeah, with that backyard, he definitely is, man.
I bought this house in 2009, and I didn't pay it that much. I didn't pay a lot for it. It's gone up in value, but yeah, I bought this house in 2009. So yeah, so
buy and hold real estate
in
too,
Texas,
right?
It's in Texas. You have to have a pool, because you're on fire all the time in the summer. You have to go jump in the pool to cool off.
Chase, speaking of hot, Chase said it was 114 in Phoenix yesterday.
Yeah, but it's a dry heat.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
I don't care,
it's
man.
Hot as hell.
Oh, when we were in Vegas, what is that, a month ago? It's like 104 outside, and you could like feel your skin baking. It's like, I don't care. This shit's hot.
I will say the humidity there, like, you don't sweat like crazy. I mean, it's hot, but you don't like when I was in Atlanta for the race the other day for Clear Cryptos. I mean, instantly. I mean, all of us, we were just drenched with that humidity. I mean, it's just brutal, man.
Yeah, I know. We get. I'm in North Texas, but it's not as bad as Houston. Houston is down it's built on a swamp, and I like Houston, by the way. So don't attack me for that comment. But my dad used to live in Houston, and I used to go see him. But you're talking about 100 and something plus degrees plus, 99% humidity. It won't rain, but it's like, you literally walk from your house to your car and you got to take a shower. It's nuts.
It's just gross, man. Yeah, for sure.
Louisiana heat's the same, as Muzz said. Yeah, Louisiana is the exact same, man. It's humidity, dude.
Humid.
So yeah.
Florida, same thing down there.
Florida, yeah,
so this still. Oh, good. You got something?
Nah, as Paul's saying, how can you handle the heat? The long term, here's the vision, right? My son is 14 years old, and I've already put my wife on notice, and Zach knows what I'm about to say, is that I've literally told my wife, I said, when that kid graduates high school and he goes to college, we are not going to be living in Dallas in the summers. It ain't happening. I'm done, man. I've been here my whole life. It's so freaking hot.
I've heard you say that a few times. Yeah.
It's like, just done. Why are you showing who is this idiot? Why are you showing this guy's channel? Jeez.
Well, what is it? Henrock said, what's Austin's YouTube? I'm like, you don't know Austin Hilton on YouTube? Are you kidding me? Here he is right here. So make sure you check him out.
Oh man, just, it's so funny. Dude, I have a funny story for you. So we went to Lake of the Ozarks last week, right? And for July 4th, right? And so it was my family, another family, and another family, and they all have kids. So there's like the two boys that are my son's age, and some of them have daughters. So there was like 8 of these kids sitting in the living room, and they're like, they pulled up my channel and put it up on the big TV, and we were all sitting there, and I'm like, I literally had to leave the room. I'm like, stop playing my crap, because I don't like to hear myself, and please just make it go away. And I literally left the room and went down to the dock because they were all, they're teenagers. They're all making fun of me and stuff. It was actually really funny. It was like,
it is weird to like listen to yourself. It's like,
yeah,
I don't know, it's always weird when you hear yourself talk. You're like, shut up, you idiot.
Shut up. Shut up. Why do people listen to us? I don't know.
It's cool though. We appreciate it.
Pool party. Yeah. I'll have a clear crypto pool party. That'll be one of the prizes. Come to Austin's house for a party.
Yeah. Foxy said, next bull run pool party at your place. Clear Cryptos wants an invite. Austin, do you get recognized in public?
Yes, I do. And it's weird.
Yeah.
So I have another funny story. I'll tell this one. Zach's heard this one. So since it's funny stories, I started my YouTube channel. My real father passed away back in 2008. My biological dad, and I was tight with him. But I have a stepfather who's been my stepfather since I was like 6. Right? We were at Costco buying I was helping my stepdad buy a TV, and this young guy walks by. He's like, "Hey, Austin, I just watched one of your videos. Cool." And he just kept walking. My stepdad literally turned to me and looked at me and kind of like, "What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, Dad, you didn't know I started a porno channel and now I'm doing porno." And he's like, "What? What are you talking about?" I'm like, no, man. It's YouTube crypto. It was one of those perfectly just timed moments. So yeah,
that's awesome, man.
You got to laugh at yourself, man. You got to,
cool.
But yes, and I know you've been recognized. It's weird, man, because people walk up to you. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm not socially awkward usually, but like that makes me a little socially awkward sometimes because it's just like, I don't know, I'm not used to it. So like,
yeah,
pretty much like in Vegas now, anytime I go, like somebody comes up and it's cool, man. And we just, chat about crypto. And I remember I was at the roulette table this last time and it was real early in the morning. I was playing a little roulette with my buddies and it was like 7:30 in the morning. And this guy with his girlfriend walked by and he was like, "Zach," he's like, "What's up, man?" I'm like, "What's going on, dude?" And just hung out and, took a picture and he was showing me his portfolio a little bit. It was cool, man. It was fun.
But, that's the thing, man. You gotta laugh at yourself. I don't take myself seriously at all. You guys know I don't, which is funny because I was talking to Crypto Joker last night, right on the phone. And he's big into obviously Hex and Pulse and all that. And he was talking about like, well, if I was going to do videos, do I have to be like a tight ass like you? And I'm like, first, screw you. And we were laughing. Right. And I was like, that's just the guy that comes out on camera. This really kind of, and I'm like, but that's not really always me. That's just when I push the record button, it's just, you gotta laugh at yourself. Cause I do all the time. So,
and it's funny. You don't really like think about what you're going to be like on camera. You just kind of do it. And then you just have this persona, like whatever that is. Right. It's like, yeah, it's cool, man. Yeah, even when we were in Atlanta, it was fun, man. I was with Hobbs and we were at the rooftop bar at our hotel and somebody recognized me there and it was like, "Oh, Shiba Inu, man." And he's like, it was really cool actually. The guy was like, "Dude," he's like, "You made me $25,000 on the last bull run." I'm like, "Dude, that's awesome."
That's
like,
what I hear.
Yeah. That's what it's about, And of course I was like awkward as hell. And I'm like, "Well, here's Hobbs." I was like, "You got to check him out. He's way smarter than I am when it comes to TA." I'm like, "Hobbs," I'm like, "Go ahead, man."
Yeah. You want to talk to Hobbs for an hour. I'm going to walk over here and walk away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I remember you and it happened to you. I think when we were in Vegas at a different time, you were like, "I don't know what to do." When people start talking to me, I'm like, just be nice to them. Just talk to them,
Yeah. It's weird.
It's funny.
Cool. I couldn't imagine being like a big, like I wouldn't even want that. Like not being able to go to the grocery store. But can you imagine like just going to Walmart and like having to put sunglasses on and a baseball cap and it's like hopefully nobody sees me? Like I don't know.
It's that's the cool thing about what we do. I mean, we get to do this. We get and because you guys support us, right? We get to do it, but you get recognized every now and then. It's kind of cool. So somebody said, Rick Ritchie, did I like Lake of the Ozark? Yeah, Lake of the Ozark's really cool. It's about the 4th year in a row we've been there. Massive lake, a lot of really cool places and bars to go on the lake. It's really one of the coolest lakes. I just wish it was closer. It's an 8 or 9 hour drive for me from here, but yeah.
Nice. I've never been there. I want to go though. Not only because of the show, but yeah, I've talked to you about it. It sounds like an awesome place. It's just speaking of awesome places. Oh, good.
No, go ahead.
I just got back from the Smoky Mountains. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for the first time. Man, what an awesome place. Absolutely had a blast out there. Did a few hikes and just an awesome place. It's got like a real cool downtown, like, breweries and like little pubs and man, it's got like so much character down there, right in the mountains. It's awesome down there. But
I think that's really, kind of to bring this back to crypto, in my opinion, and I know you and I've talked about this, right? I think that one of the things that ultimately people want to make money for what? They'll tell you they want to quit a 9 to 5. They'll tell you they want to do this, but what, to me, it's the ability to have the freedom to do that, to go and travel and to spend more time with your loved ones. And I think that's ultimately what it's about. It's not really,
no doubt.
part of that is like, hey, I want to get out of the 9 to 5 or whatever it is. But usually if you ask enough questions, it comes down to freedom. It comes down to the freedom to make a choice, to choose how you want to spend your days. And I think that's really what it's about,
100%, man. I mean, yeah, I remember when I was just starting out, and like a lot of people like can't see a way to get there, I feel like, too. And I struggled through that too, because a lot of times you're working the 9 to 5 and it's like, how do you just make that transition? Like, you know what I mean? It's how do you get from point A to point B? And for me, it was, I was working the full-time job. I mean, when I was first, doing the crypto thing, and of course, this is pretty well known. Austin helped me tremendously kind of get started. But I mean, Austin knows, like, I was waking up at 5 and just knocking out 5 videos, going to work, coming back, calling him, what did I miss? Because I was at work for, whatever, half the day. And that's what it takes. And then eventually you can hopefully make that choice and say, hey, I think I can leave the 9 to 5 and do what I want to do, control your own destiny, all of those sort of things. And crypto allows for it, man. I mean, it's amazing. And that's part of the, the Clear Crypto's When lifestyle. And that's really what it's about. Everybody thinks about like When Lambo, and that became a thing, and that's cool. That's cute. That's fun. But it's not about cars. It's not about all the flashy stuff. It's really not. It's about being able to jump out on a Tuesday and go to Gatlinburg, and being able to go to the Lake of Ozarks whenever you want.
Yep.
Being able to go hit golf balls at 11 a.m. on a Wednesday. Like,
right.
That's what it's about. And that's the power that crypto can give to people. And it's amazing because everybody on this stream and everybody you're so early, man. I mean, I know we beat that into the ground, but we have to, because it's so true. I was watching the adoption curve of crypto right now. It is following the adoption curve of the internet perfectly right now. And it just goes to show you, like, 5% of people in crypto, and this thing's going to get way bigger. And anybody who's in it now, just stay with it. Many people will drop out. They won't finish the journey. Just stay on the path. I mean, I'm telling you guys, it's going to be a lot of good.
And I think, but I want to go back to something. I agree with everything you said, Zach. I want to go back to something you said about your personal journey, and I know you've documented it. You were a professor, and you were doing that career, that job, but you were also looking for how you could achieve that freedom and that, to be able to do what you want. But here's what I want to say. You did the work. That's really what it comes down to. And so this applies to anybody listening to this and like trying to figure out how they can maybe, get out of the 9 to 5 or whatever it is, if that is their ultimate goal. Look at side hustles, look at things you can do that will ultimately replace that income, because that's what it's about. You have to replace that income, right? And that's how I've always looked at it. You have to, because your biggest asset in life is your income. It is the income you're building, the cash flow to be able to then to invest in crypto and stocks and whatever it is. So when you're thinking about, as an example, like, how do I cut my ties with a 9 to 5? Okay, you have to look at how much money do I bring in from that 9 to 5? I bring in $75,000 a year. Okay, how am I going to go find another gig or do something else that's going to bring that in or have that much more upside? And, there's different things for different people. But I think the illusion, because I've owned my own businesses for 22 plus years. I literally walked away from corporate America in 2000, good times and bad times. And I think people have this illusion that owning your own business is easy and it's 100% freedom every single day, and that you don't have to work and you don't have to do anything. And that is a complete fallacy and a complete not right. You and I work every day. Yes, we get up, we record our videos, we do our live streams and all that stuff. We work, but we are able to do that work in probably a pretty compact amount of time. Like you and I today, we're done, and I am going to go hit golf balls with my son when I'm off, literally. And when I get done with this, I'm taking him to go hit golf balls. And I couldn't do this if I had a 9 to 5. But I want people to understand that if they're trying to figure out what that is or how you do it, look at your life. How do you replace that income? And then you're going to have to work at whatever that thing is. And then know this, that when you do quit the 9 to 5, you're going to have to keep working at that thing, whatever that other thing was, because that's how you're bringing in the income to support yourself and all that kind of stuff. It's every day.
100%.
And I think that's the misconception,
100%, man. And I think too, to your point, you broke away from the 9 to 5 in 2000. You took a risk.
Oh, massive.
And that's something that does not go, it shouldn't go understated. You've got to be willing to fail.
Yeah. And I have failed. I have failed at things. You have too. I mean, I know you've had 100%. Businesses you failed at. You cannot do it and not fail some. Hopefully you minimize the failures and they're not catastrophic.
Yep.
Right. And I think that's it. So I know
there's a lot of those,
go ahead.
Go ahead. My bad. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
A lot of those side hustles that you referred to too, you could do that while you're still working the 9 to 5. So you're not giving up that
absolutely.
Income, right?
I'm sorry. I didn't say that clear enough. Start a site. You did. I mean, you literally were doing YouTube and your side on the side. And then you looked up and ultimately YouTube and the revenue was bigger than what you're, that's literally how it happens, right?
Yeah,
it became bigger than what you were making,
100%. And then you make that calculated decision on when the right time is. Like once you see you're making a salary, comparable or if not bigger than your 9 to 5, then it's like, okay, now you feel a lot more comfortable taking that leap and you're ready to go. And and you're off and running. And but to your point, you still have to show up every single day. And sometimes it's harder because nobody's pushing you to be there,
dude.
Right? Yeah. Nobody's calling you like, hey, it's 9 o'clock. Where are you at? You should be at your desk. Right. Yeah. And it's like, so you have to be self-motivated too. I mean, you have to, you can't, not be self-motivated to be an entrepreneur or to own your own business. And
I mean, Foxy brings up a good point. Also add passive income into that mix, right? I mean, if you can look at it and find, and in crypto world, I mean, there are still obviously some passive income scenarios. You can stake, you can do these things that will create, passive income, or look at a business model that might have some type of a passive income, but it will always come back to the fact that you are still going to get up and work. And here's the other thing. Ironically, I work harder than I did when I was in corporate America. It's just different, Hold on. This is the wife. I'll be right back. Hold on.
Yeah. No, to your point there, Austin, and we'll bring it back here in a sec. Yeah. I mean, I do too. And people think like, oh, YouTube is just easy. You just show up for a few hours. It's not that. And it's none of that. When you work for yourself, you work harder because you have no one to answer to but yourself. And if you're a self-motivated person, you're probably kind of a perfectionist and you want to get things done and you want more in life. And there's nobody else there, especially when you're running it solo. Go ahead. Awesome.
You don't quit. I mean, I'm 53 years old, right? And I would see myself doing this job because that's what it is. I mean, being creating, I'm talking about the job of creating content, right? Mm-hmm. And for the next however 20 plus years, as long as people will show up and listen to me and give me a few minutes of their day, I see that, and but it took me a long time to get here. I wish that, like I've told you, right? I wish I would have done this 5 years ago. I go back, I don't know when BitBoy started, but he was early. And if I would have started a YouTube channel, there's no telling where I would have been and all that kind of stuff. I think about that all the time. But I also, being a Christian, I believe that there's a reason for everything. And I'm here now at the time I was supposed to be here.
I agree.
We've really gone off.
No, this is good though. I mean, I'm looking at chat. People are getting value out of this. And I think, full disclosure, I'd like to make a channel around this eventually. I don't know if maybe it's this channel. I don't know. But I've had an idea of kind of.
I got to pull Daniel's comment up. All right. This is what said. This is said. Don't look a day over. Don't look
real quick. We got a $5 donation from Lucy Fuego. So real quick, I want to hit that. And then we'll jump right over. When you take profits, do you only put in stable coins or bank account? It depends, Lucy. For me, I mean, sometimes I keep it in stable if I'm planning to reinvest that into something else. but other times I bring it right to the bank account. I would say now in 2022, more of it's coming into the bank account because I want cash on hand.
Yeah.
With recession fears and things like that. And if it goes to the bank to pay bills, how do we handle taxes? Everything you make in crypto should be counted toward your revenue, whether it's on the centralized side of things and decentralized side of things. If you're living in the United States, which I think you are, maybe not actually, but if you're in the US, they have a thing on the tax form now, a little box you have to check, and it's going to get even more intricate in looking at crypto. So report all your taxes, report all your income. You don't want the IRS knocking on your door if you're in the US.
Amen.
Okay, where's Daniel's comment?
He just said, don't look a day over 60. That's what it was. I'm like, yeah. You know, that's the joke, right? Austin, you look really good for 60. Hold on a minute. What?
Oh, there it is. Got it.
Yeah. I laugh again. You got to laugh at yourself.
Let's see. Justin Seals is in the house. Appreciate you, Justin. What's up, man?
What's up, Justin?
I met Justin out in Atlanta. He's on with T Hobbs. Make sure you guys check out Crypto Shop every day in the afternoons.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Check out their show. Awesome.
Pull up Alan Humphries' deal. I love that comment because he talks about Dave Ramsey. So for what it's worth, Dave Ramsey is something that my wife, Michelle, got me into. And if you don't know about Dave Ramsey, he's written a bunch of books, and it's all about don't have a lot of debt and, you know, pay cash. And there's obviously more to it. But his stuff, you know, revolutionized my world. You know, from that kind of, and this was a long time ago. I don't know how Dave feels about crypto. I don't care about how he feels about crypto, but just his kind of money management stuff. Because this is a good point. If you look at our educational system, right, Zach, you were a college professor, right? And you look at our education, I'm talking about from high school to college, at the end of the day, it doesn't teach us how to manage money. It doesn't. There is really nothing.
Never.
And I think that's one of the biggest disservices that we do to our younger generations coming behind us, is that we don't teach them how to manage money. We don't, you know, our world is set up to, I mean, debt is sold to us every single day, right? And on commercials talking about what's in your wallet, and you know, we give airline miles and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
Debt is sold to us, packaged and sold to us every single day. And to me, debt is one of the biggest killers of financial freedom there is.
100%, dude.
You know?
100%. And you're so right. The traditional system, schooling system, they don't teach you about those sort of things. And I think that needs to change. And I don't know if it ever will. I mean, I could say a lot about the educational system, but I'll refrain because I'll go on for another 4 hours on that. But you're right. I mean, finding those tools and resources like a Dave Ramsey, you know, I think sometimes we forget the internet is filled with free information.
Absolutely.
And I think we get into like these habits and we go to the same places every day. And a lot of times we go to the internet and waste time, right? We all do it. I'm not saying I'm like, you know, somebody totally different and I never waste time and I never watch Netflix. Although I don't think I watched as much as many people. Like when I watch things on YouTube, I'm trying to educate myself.
Right.
In some form or fashion. Like if I'm not creating content on YouTube, I'm watching something so I can learn something. Every once in a while, like I watch some travel channels. I like that stuff. Like people, you know, but to me, like a lot of people, you know, watch dancing TikToks for 2 hours. Like you're wasting time. I mean, you're not using the internet in a way that can actually better your life and better your future, right? And I mean, I don't know, maybe I sound like a no fun guy here or whatever, but I don't know. If you really want to better yourself, like the internet is filled with good quality information and it's free. Like Dave Ramsey.
Well, I think, you know, I think you have to look at, to me, I think, Zach, you have to look at what do you want to improve in your life?
Yeah.
You know, and so, okay. And that's different for all of us. Right. And so let's say you're like, you have a lot of debt. How do I get rid of that debt? Go to YouTube. How do I get rid of the debt? Dave Ramsey. Find a system that works for you. Begin to work on that process. To me, Dave Ramsey is what worked for us way back in the day. And, you know, how his snowball system, pay off the debt and all this kind of stuff. But that's just one example. You have to find somebody that works for you. Okay, that's an example of it. But beyond that, then it's like, okay, you know, how do I replace my income? Well, there's 8 million ways to do that. Some of them are scams and some of them are crap. But I think if you stay within the, you know, kind of stay within the lanes of kind of good solid, proven ways to do that. There are ways to start really, to start making money on the side to ultimately maybe replace your income to then think, but you have to, I want to go back to your point. You have to make the effort. You have to get up off the damn couch. You have to be the one that does it. And most people are simply not willing to do that.
And the first thing you do is probably not going to be the thing that works.
No, God, no, probably not.
You know what I mean? And that's the other thing. Like, people will try once and like, didn't work for me. I'm going to go back to this job I hate and sit at this damn desk all day. You got to keep at it, I mean, personally, like, I'm 32, but I've had 3 failed small businesses, and it was all while I was working, and they were side hustles, you can call it, but I had LLCs. I was trying to grow it, and, but I learned so much from those failures or, temporary defeats, if you don't want to call it a failure or whatever, but, so I was a professor, like teaching like communication and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, well, how can I leverage this into a business? So I did like a little consulting gig where I helped people with their resumes and cover letters. And it was cool. I made some extra cash. I learned some things, but I also learned that I couldn't scale it. Right.
Yep.
And I was, so I took a lot out of that situation. Similarly, I started a little hot sauce business during COVID, actually. I was trying to make extra money. And at this time, I was just trying to make extra money because I wasn't making a lot at the 9 to 5. The only thing I had in my goal was to make another $10,000 to $15,000 so I can just invest.
Right.
I was like, because I'm living paycheck to paycheck. I didn't have money to invest. I'm like, well, if I had this other small business, maybe that can get me enough to invest, get me started. But it was constantly trying things and, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't. And you learn so much more from the things that don't work.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. When things are going, it's like crypto markets, right? Everybody's a genius in the bull run. What do you really learn when the market's just going parabolic? Not much. You're just like sitting back enjoying the ride. You're like, wow, look at my portfolio. I'm a genius. Right. And then when the bear market hits, it's like, oh shit, I got some stuff to learn. I got some stuff to do. Right. And it's similar in life. When you get knocked down, like, you learn a lot from it. As long as you have that, mentality to get back up,
Yeah. Well, you got to do what's right for you. Daniel said, don't give up on selling drugs the first time. Believe in yourself. That was funny as hell. Daniel's always
bringing the comedic relief, man.
You're going to have failures if you do a side gig. Try to minimize. I think that's a good point, Zach. Try to minimize the risk. Try to minimize the downside risk. Don't go do something where you got to invest $5,000 in something and, and there's a lot of money up front. Everything. Here's how I look at it. Everything I tried to start over those years, that usually I try to start it where it's almost zero capital investment, zero money up front, or extremely low.
Yeah.
And so that's why I, looked to create companies where I was selling information or whatever it may have been. Right. Service. And I ran into I can't scale this a couple of times. And I think, that's kind of where you end up, we both kind of ended up on YouTube in our respective, different paths, but this is a platform that scales because it scales as the platform grows, et cetera. But you got to, but there's a lot of people who are like, no way in hell I'm going to go on camera. I mean, it takes a certain type of person to be able to do this. And for those of you guys who don't know this, on YouTube, it's hard. YouTube sucks for about 5 months.
Oh yeah.
You got to make up to about 100 videos and nobody's ever going to see them. You got to put in the work and the time, and it's a grind. And then it builds over time. Even right now, guys, just to give you a little peek behind the curtain. I mean, Zach and I make videos every day, but our views are down right now because of a bear market, as an example. And yet 100%. We get up every single day, and it's a grind, and it's not a grind in a bad way, but it's a job. Every day we do it.
Yeah, 100%. Dude, one of the things you learned obviously a long time ago, and I learned recently, and I'm pretty sure I read it in this book, and you're going to know this book. It's the old age wonder. I credit this book for almost everything. If you haven't read this book, I've read it like I don't even know how many times. Napoleon Hill, 1937 book. I mean, it's $8 on Amazon. I mean, that's the best $8 you'll ever spend if you've never read this book. I'm dead serious. But one of the things I remember taking a lot out of this, and you can listen on audiobook for free on YouTube, by the way. Again, internet free. Don't trade your time for money. And if you can find a way to do that, and it's easier now today than ever not to trade your time for money. You'll never get as rich as you want to get or as wealthy as you want to get when you trade your time for money. What do I mean by that? Well, What did you figure out a long time ago, Austin, when you were creating courses for Amazon? You created it one time.
Yeah. You
right?
create it one time and you sell it over and over again. So you have an upfront, investment.
You weren't trading your time for money.
Correct.
You were making money while you were sleeping. That's the secret.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think that's the thing. I mean, in the 9 to 5 world, you are trading your time for money. A job, you are trading your time for money.
100%. And you can only make so much money in a 8-hour window or whatever, however long you work, right? Yeah. Where even on YouTube, a video I made before I came in on this live stream is still making me money.
Correct.
And videos that Austin made last night are still making him money. That's the secret. That's the hack. It's finding a way to not trade your time for money. And I think, in today's age, it's the internet. Find something on the internet that you're good at. Everybody's good at something.
Yep.
Everybody's passionate about something. Everybody has a skill. Everybody knows something that other people don't. It's just finding a way to leverage that into a business. Or everyone has a skill that other people don't, right?
Amen.
So
wow, we went
deep in the weeds,
didn't we? Wow, there we go.
Heck? We need to start another channel and just do this stuff. People are saying it too in the chat. Caveman said, "You guys seem to be a really good fit talking together. Maybe you can come up with your own channel with the two. Yeah, just like an entrepreneurial angle. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But yeah, we'll see.
That's more work."
He's like, I'm trying to enjoy my 50. I'm done working, man.
Yeah, I want to be on a beach, not doing anything.
I hear that. Drew says, I do DoorDash, Uber Eats, Instacart, Spark without Walmart, and I make money. That's it, man. And that's the grind. That's the hustle. I love that. Yeah,
I would add to that, Drew, a little advice for what it's worth. Set that money aside. Leverage that as a nest egg to do something else, to invest or whatever it may be. Don't just spend that money is really what I'm saying. My dad had a great saying. He said, my dad had a great analogy. He was talking about at the time we owned hitchfinder.com together. We owned that from 2000 until 2008. It was an automotive parts business. And I sold it when he passed away. But we were talking one day about salaries, and we were talking about, should we, raise the salary for this person? And my dad said something that I will never forget. And he said, let's say we give her another $10,000 annualized salary. I'm like, okay. And he said that would help her. And we will do that for her. But watch, this person, and we all do this, they will adjust their living to accommodate that raise and then be looking next year for like, okay, what else do you have for me? He wasn't meaning it in a bad way. He was talking about it's human nature, like let's say, she drove a Camry that was costing her $400 a month. Well, now she's got this extra money. I might go buy a Beamer that's going to cost me $500 a month, because we adjust our life, and we instinctively do it. I go eat at a little bit better restaurant. I go buy a little bit better clothes, and we tend to use up that money very, very quickly. So that kind of goes back to my comment about Drew a minute ago, where he's doing these side hustles. Usually people, what they'll do is they'll take that side hustle money and they'll incorporate it into their life, and really at the end of the day, not make any changes, right? Not make a dramatic change.
That's a really good point. Yeah. And I think, if you can, and I know you always bust me for this, but I live well below my means still. And I do
a really good job of that, by the way. He does. I'm gonna call out Zach for this. I'm always messing with him like he should go buy a watch, but it's me kind of giving him shit, right? Like a really good watch, like a Rolex or something, and he won't do it. But Zach, he's Midwest upbringing. He lives well below his means, and I think that's cool. I applaud you, but I still got to give you shit for it.
And I did for so long, man. I think that was the thing. Like, I didn't have much for so long, and I was happy without it. So I was just like, you know what? Like, I don't know. I don't need this stuff, really. I mean, like, I upgraded some things. I think the big thing, travel more, do those things, enjoy better food and better, things like that for sure. But I was never a Wen Lambo guy, I guess, right? I was never, I never wanted a flashy car. Like, it just doesn't do it for me. But yeah. And
that's good. That will save you a lot of, I don't want to say heartache, but if you can live below your means, that is one of the biggest keys to being rich. Ultimately, downstream, right? If you make more than you spend, save and invest,
yeah,
save and invest, you're setting yourself up. I mean, I think that's really the key.
That's it.
You know,
yeah, and you know, yeah, I mean, save what you can, invest what you can, and live below your means, and you know,
so what you're saying is Zach squeaks when he walks.
yeah. Oh shoot.
A little bit,
Yeah,
but not in a bad way. Not in a bad way. It's funny, but it's a good, that speaks to your parents and your upbringing and just who you are and all that kind of stuff. So it's something to be applauded, even though I'm never going to applaud you again. I'm going to give you shit for it until the end of time. But you know, that's just my job, right?
We were in Vegas. Quick story before we wrap it up. We were in Vegas and we were walking around. What was it, in Caesars?
Yeah,
because they got the big mall there and stuff. And what did you get there? I don't even know the brands. I'm like, you know, this is how much I know about nice things.
Okay, well, you gotta set the stage. Okay, I don't spend I drive an F-250, so I don't drive a Lambo, right? The house we live in is nice, blah blah blah. But I'm a watch guy. I like watches,
right.
And I don't actually watch a lot. I don't actually like them as much as I used to. I used to wear them all the time. So I'd always wanted to buy a Hublot, Hublot, and that's. So go ahead, tell the story.
Yeah, so you know, he's like, hey, you want to walk over to the watch store and start looking at watches? I said, yeah, I'll go over, and I knew well, you know, well before that I wasn't buying anything, and because I knew it was going to be expensive, you know. So we go over, and he's like in the store, and I'm walking around with another buddy, I think, who was out there with us or whatever, and so I come back around, and he comes out, and he's like, you're not going to go in and get a watch? I'm like, no. I'm like, how much was it? And he was like, oh, it was like 15 grand. I'm like, 15 grand on a watch. I was like, nah, I'll put that into crypto or something. I got my $300 watch that looks nice, and there you go. I'm cool with that. So
But, you know, we all got to spend our money on something, right? My wife had a shit fit though. She's like, what, you did what? You know, and I'm like, hey, you know.
Oh shit.
Oh, look, Daniel, every man over 35 should own at least one expensive watch. There you go. So you got a couple of years.
All right, so I got a few years. All right, that's cool. Yeah. I like that, Dan.
I want to be there when you buy your big watch, you know, and so, you know, I want to be there as a moment, and I'll
have to get
it.
Something.
You know, the squeaky guy,
this moment in time,
has bought a watch. The squeaker has bought a watch.
Oh shit. All right, man. Hey, that was fun. Didn't expect it to go there, but hey, that was cool. Thank everybody out there for listening. Appreciate you all so much. And I guess we'll watch what comes out tomorrow with the CPI data. That's the big thing right now. It's everything is tied to that this week. And don't be surprised if we get a big number tomorrow and markets come down. You know, I think it's already starting to come down as of last night. So any parting ways on what to expect this week, Austin?
I just think it's going to be, I don't care. Here's what I think. And I would love to be wrong. And I will say, I would love to say I'm going to be wrong. I think no matter what the number is, there's going to be people that are going to be jumping off of the ship in stocks and crypto, thinking that the ship's on fire and the sky is falling. And I think my only advice, for whatever it's worth, is look at the asset you're thinking about selling because you think, oh my God, this is horrible. And it's the end of days. And ask yourself, is it really the end of days? And ask yourself that question. I think, Zach, we talked about earlier. To me, the question in crypto is, obviously you're in crypto, you wouldn't be here. Do you believe that the crypto market is going to bounce back in the overall market capitalization and other variables, but that the crypto is going to grow over time? Do you think it's going to be bigger a year from now, 2 years from now than it is today? Yes or no? And if the answer is yes, don't freaking sell unless you've got to pay the rent or put food on the table. Why sell when everything is depressed?
Yeah,
that's 100%. All I got. You know, I mean, hold and ironically, right, Zach, you flip that and you go, everything. I mean, to your point, VeChain, 27 cents, now it's 2 cents. Everything is at massive discounts, and you should be, not investing advice, you should be looking at, and this is when the real money is made. Jake Gagan does a tweet every now and then, and I see him. Oh, did you hear that? That's a cicada. You know,
oh my gosh. Yeah. They just start up, huh?
Dude, there's probably like 2 of them right there in a tree. They're so loud. He's like, this is when millionaires are made. And that's a tweet that he's put out before. And I think this is true in crypto, you know,
100%. Yeah. I mean, they're not made when everything's going up. The people who are making all the money were already in when everything was going
Actually,
down.
they are made, right? They buy now and they're selling then.
Yeah, well, true. Yeah, they're taking their profits when
their profits.
Yeah, when a lot of others are buying it on the way up. So, yeah, man, this has been great. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Appreciate everybody out there. Thanks, Metadon. Cheers, guys. Cheers to you, man. That was a bug. Never mind. I don't want to visit Austin.
Do you know what a cicada is? Do you know what that is?
I do. Yeah.
If you don't know what a cicada is, go Google it. They're really ugly looking things. They crawl out of the ground. They got these shells, and then
Are they the same as locusts, or is that a different? Because every once in a while in the Midwest, we get like this locust run where it's insane.
No, I know. So, we don't get that here. I think.
Dude, there's this. Hold on, I got to show you everybody this real quick. Go ahead.
Look, see, we're talking about cicadas. I mean, what the hell? You know,
I got to show everybody this because this is like freaking cool, though. It was Locust, Cleveland Indians game. So there was a Cleveland Indians game, and again, we get them all the time on the lake. Was it?
I think you misspelled locust. Locust, right?
Is that what it is?
I don't know. Don't make me laugh. Try that.
This is it. Oh no, it was the midges. We get these too. So, dude, check this out. This was way back in the day. The Indians were playing the Yankees in the playoffs, and the midges from Lake Erie. That's another thing we get all the time is midges.
I don't know what a midge is. What's a midge?
It's like these little bugs, dude, and they're just insane. They come in like millions. So check this out.
Bug spray. With the bug spray does Derek. Here comes Sizemore. But when they're flying in your face and in your ear.
Yeah. So there you go. We'll end with bugs.
They bite you. That sucks, man.
Yeah, dude. Midges. Yeah. But we also get the locusts all the time too. It's like every, I don't even know, 4 or 5 years or something. And it's pretty nuts.
Sounds like you need to move.
See, Francesco knows I'm from Cleveland and hate the midges. And I remember this game. Yep. See?
Yeah.
He knows. Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah. Lake Erie's fun in the summer, but in the winter, oof.
Well, that's just the thing, right? You got to flip it, right? You got to, you can't be in the South in the summer, and you got to go north and vice versa, and you're good to go. That's
crypto allows you to do that. So keep investing.
There you go. All right, man. I'll see you.
All right, man. Take care, everybody. See you.